You did well. It's like my...
Yeah, yeah.
It is an honor. As a lifetime learner, somebody who really saw education at a very early age to be my key to the world, coming from a poor family. Whenever I see young people fighting to become somebody, I admire that. So I'm happy to see all of you. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at all of you. The average age, maybe mid-20s, young people who have the choice to do something else with their time, but chose to come here to this program with the hope that life will get better for them. And so, I used to be like you many, many years ago. I have not written any speech. I came to talk to you from my heart, to share with you my personal story. Hopefully it can inspire you and inspire any other person here who is looking to improve their life. You know, I'm standing before you, they say, oh, he went to this school, that school, he was this person over there and there. I don't walk around, you know, with that on my shoulders. All right? And most of you are looking at me and say, oh, I want to be like him. It's a blessing that people want to aspire to be you. And that is why we in public service, we have to do our best to be good role models. It's tough because we are humans. We have our own flaws. But your upbringing, the foundation that your parents gave you, can help guide you when you become a leader. You know why? Because leadership has a price. It has a price. You are in a position in which you will be required to make decisions that will affect other people's lives. There's a price for that. Will you make mistakes? Yes. But should you endeavor to minimize the mistakes so that the impact, the negative impact of your decision, does, you know, it's not too harsh on those that you are making the decision for. That is the job we do now. And so, I want to applaud you, especially when there's a tension in our country between the bad things and the good things today. That tension is real. All of us in this room have a drug addict child in our families today. The drug epidemic is real. It is an existential threat to the future of our country because it is the future is eating away the young people. So for you to reject that and then put time into improving yourself requires commendation. Today I want to talk to you about resilience. Resilience. All right? Now, for those who don't know what resilience is, you can say resilience is somebody who goes through tough times but does not crack under pressure and do the wrong thing in order to survive. You keep going and going and going and going. I was born on my mother's kitchen floor in my village, Kalabasa. But back then, when my father, my grandfather was a peanut farmer in Belekwa, Bon County, made peanut farm there. So my father then was born there. They used to bring peanuts in Monrovia. They used to stop with my grandfather's friend who was a tailor right by the church here in Bishop Road. You know, those who know, this place used to be called Bishop Road. Am I lying? So I know that Perry Street, and my area here, like this is where I'm giving you the story now. So they used to bring the Grampy on their head from Bond County, walk from there here, when there was no car road. According to the narrative from my father, who was a very young man at the time, they would walk. They would try not to pass Carisburg after daylight, because, you know, back then there were a lot of high men. So you have to get there by daylight around this time and pass. If you came around 7, 8 or so, they will keep you there, and then some people will disappear. That's the story. So they will come here and they will stay here. They will go to Waterside. There was no quota here. Capital Bypass is a new road when you take into consideration Liberia's age. We were young when they built this road. So Monrovia was here. That was it. So my father would tell me the dust and all of that, the streets were not paved. They were all dusty road. And this is President Charles D.B. Kintan he's telling me about. And then finally President Tubman came, opened up the country to investments. And then with the opening up of the mines, they started to pave these roads. And then bulldoze Camp Johnson Road. There used to be some military operation there. Here was a hunting ground, being Cinco. It was a forest. So President Tubman opened up all the way to Combo Town where his farm was. So it was just a retreat, weekend retreat for him. So that's how the road went to Old Road, because Richard Herons, the speaker at the time, and other top people were living there, so on and so forth. But enough of that. So I'm just trying to tell you that the country was never like this. We've come a long way. But next Friday we celebrate 177 years. Our population is growing faster than the economy. So people like you who have come here and put in the effort, the money, the time, the sweat, with the support of your teachers to give you skills, you are not thinking about what do I do tomorrow with the skills I have learned. The economy is not producing the jobs, it's not creating the jobs, it's not creating the opportunities, because our focus over the last few years have not been on that. It's been on small road here, small road there. People clap, they take pictures, they put it on Facebook, so that's progress. But the real progress is this. It's what do you do tomorrow? After all this celebration, look at how happy your people are. Some of you parents are here. Some of you have relationships, whether husbands or boyfriend or girlfriend. They're here to support you. But together, they want to see you make progress. So the whole idea of going to school is to do better. And this is the failure of government here. All of us involved. I'm not throwing blame at anybody. But if you're in government, you know how it works. It's very frustrating. That is why real business people do well faster than government, because one person makes a decision and everybody follows. In government, democracy, you got 3 branches. You got to do this, you got to do that. We have laws that you have to meet. That makes the country a country. If you don't follow your law, then you are a theoretical country. You don't want that. You want a real state where the rule of law is respected. No one is above those laws, including the president, the senators, the representatives, the justices. The same law that protect them also protect you, the ordinary people. So here we have a situation where Our economy is not growing fast enough to keep pace with the population growth. We are born more children than the economy is producing more jobs. Okay? I hope you're understanding that. This is where, this is what economists call this equilibrium. It's not balance. But life not balance, so that's what it means. This equilibrium. So when you hear people say this thing is not balanced, it means that it's this equilibrium. So technically the economy should grow twice the size of the rate at which we are born children, so that the parents can have opportunities to take care of the children, and as they retire, the children will take their places in the labor force. That's not happening. It's not happening for so many reasons, but I'm not here to teach you economic lessons. So I was born there in the forest. When I was born, no car used to go there. The first time the car came to my village, we were taking back in the small creek that you cross before you enter the town. And we knew the machine will come in. The yellow machine will come. We'll see the yellow machine. We'll walk and go see the yellow machine, but there was no car. So finally, when the car came, we ran behind the car with our naked bodies. We were children. We were so happy. It was a blue car, I remember. And the whole town was happy. So I just want you to know that I was born in a country where, in the part of the country where there was no vehicle at the time I was born, and I came of age before I saw a car. And today there are places in Liberia where some kids have not seen a car. In my county, for example. We've got a lot of work to do as a country. So my father, like I said, decided that he wanted to marry my mother. So he had to go find the dowry. And then he started working at Firestone. They were brushing there. He met some friends from Bassa. And he was able to raise the money to marry my mother. And they settled at camp number 7 in Firestone. And my mother told me that her father gave them $1.50. That was to say, go to your husband, this is to help you back then. That was a lot of money back then. And so they were there, they worked there for 7 years. They born their first child there who died to malaria. And then after getting some money from brushing under the rubber tree, they decided to come here. My mother will sell in Waterside. And then my father and his friends heard about Whistler. And they decided to go west, out there. So when they went out there, they started their little camp. 2 huts, one for him, one for his friends, and they called the place Bassa Camp. That's how my birthplace is called, Bassa Camp. Okay? So, this is where we were born and raised. And only airplane used to go there. From Springs, the airplane will go there like 4 or 5 times a day because the diamond business was big at the time. So the plane used to go there a lot. So we grew up in the mines, grew up on the farm. My father didn't know how to read or write. So all we needed to do was to farm, to hunt. My hunting story, you don't want to hear about that. That would be for a different story. When me and my uncle went to hunt and he had to kill a bull constrictor. And we had to bring that bull constrictor home, and I was terrified. To bring dead snake home was a problem. So, anyway, to summarize, we grew up there. We started school there at the age of 10 in a 1-room school where the kindergarten people were facing where the prima 1 people were facing here, first grade people. You know, it was just like that. And then to come from there, to come from that school to graduate from one of the world's best schools, it has to be God. So the props behind us here, we have to give gratitude to God. So if I can do that, you can do that. And I pray that, all of you will do well in your journey. But you know the secret? The secret is not giving up. You don't give up. So when I came from the village, the first school I went to was Liberia Junior High School. I couldn't get in the first year because corruption. Somebody took money from my father and then never registered my name. And then I went to school, they said I was not on the roster, and it was too late to register. So my 7th grade year, I didn't go to school because the teacher ate the money. So this corruption business has been around for a long time. Next year I went. That same year I didn't go to school is the year my mother died. My mother died of breast cancer when I was just 13 years old, a child. So I grew up without a mother. But my sister, my aunt became my mother, just like our culture dictates. So to them I'm grateful. I really am, because they really supported me, without my biological mother. Then 5 years later, the war came. My father insisted, even with his poverty, that I should go to MC, a private school. He said, this is the school you go into. But every marking period will put me outside for school fees. But because I was a gifted student, my wealthy friends will rally and pay my school fees. That is why I am grateful to them. And whenever I've had the opportunity to help, since I have been fortunate to hold key positions, both here and internationally, I help them because they were there for me. So I say this to tell you, show gratitude to the people who helped you to be here today. Don't forget them. Don't forget anybody who even call you to say, how is school? Mom or my man, stay there. You owe them. Don't quit. Everything is not money, That encouragement that they gave you, please show gratitude to them, because your luck to advance beyond this level is in the gratitude that you will show to those who got you here. Don't be ungrateful. It's important. Today in our country, most relationships are transactional relationships. I want this from you now, I get it from you, I move to the next level, screw you. It's not good. We are all Christian or Muslims in this program. Whether you believe in Christianity or Islam, the Bible and the Quran talk about ingratitude and how God frowns on those who don't worship Him. Those who turn to other demonic things for hope. You have to believe in God. You have to believe in Jesus Christ if you are a Muslim. You have to believe in Allah if you are a Christian, in Allah if you are a Muslim. So stick to that. We